I saw a call today in baseball and it confused me, and I think I need your guys' help in figuring out why this is a problem. So I see the call, America versus Puerto Rico in this championship game, and just a preference, I know nothing about baseball. I should not be analyzing this as deep as I am, but I have no clue why it's being called this way. And I see on the screen there's a little box, and I'm assuming that's the strike zone, but it's counted as a strike. So then it goes to the umpire, and everybody's upset because the box read something different than the umpire. And then in my head, I'm like, well, to me, it's a strike because of how the baseball field is laid out. And let me explain. I am a photographer, so I take pictures of baseball every now and then. This is from like 15 or 20 years ago. Let me just show you what my thoughts are, and you can tell me why I'm wrong or explain to me how it works. I have two different angles. I don't know why. So this guy is on a mound that I had to look up is 10 inches high. He is some height, probably different in the game that we saw today, but let's just keep it all for the same. So the ball is about head level, and he's throwing it to the batter, which I also put 10 inches high, and then the ball at head level roughly. So this little line represents where that's going to be. And so I have drawn a strike zone. So over the plate, forget that there's like a difference in, like it's at an angle. So the strike zone is in between the knees and the elbow-ish, just by how it's on this little guy right here in the knees, and then here's the elbows. I drew kind of a little line. And so this is the strike zone. This is where I am assuming the ball ends up in this strike zone. So right down here, you could see this little ball is where the ball landed, and they're just using the last place the ball ended up as the tracking spot. But in my head, and why this is very confusing to me, the base is like 6 feet in front of where the ball lands at the end. So it doesn't make sense to me because the ball is heading from, 6.5, 7 feet high, and it's going down to the bottom of the ground, like 6 inches below. And then I caught a frame of what I'm talking about. So this is what everybody saw before. And then I'm sure with the spin and momentum, when you throw a ball, it like has a downward motion, and then the arc, he's not throwing a laser beam, and then the arc goes down. So here's what I'm saying. If you were to draw this out, and I could not find a panorama that had the pitcher and the batter in the same shot, but let's just assume here. He's throwing it from way up here, and he's way over here. So let's say he's releasing it from this over here. Let's draw a line from there to here. That's where it's going through the strike zone, right? And there's a little bit of an arc that happens here. It's got the parabola. And so it's releasing from him and going into here. So this is where, in my head, it's going through the strike zone. And I need you guys, all of the people that are complaining and saying that it was a bad call and it shouldn't have been a strike and the game should have happened a different way. I didn't even watch the game. I'm only seeing the aftermath of this. And I'm trying to just display on screen what I think the call should be and why it was that way, because the umpire, with his field of view, he's looking at it from where I think I would be looking at it. And he is seeing it as a strike like I would. It doesn't matter where they catch the ball in the end because it's breaking the plane here and then it's just continuing down here. It's not our fault. So explain to me who's in the wrong and why is this a bad call? Comment, subscribe, like, I don't care. I just want somebody to explain it to me. Have a great day.